Welcome back. Today I am going to show you something from Buildcraft. Now I don't normally build a lot of, or much of anything at all actually from Buildcraft, but there are a few items in Buildcraft that it's really tough not to like them. So yesterday you probably noticed there wasn't an episode, and that's because I've been working on gathering materials for a secret project. And I was planning on posting the secret project today, but I still don't have enough. It's going to be a pretty big project, and this room that I dug out with my trusty diamond drill is just not enough. So I need a faster way, and I realized that the ceiling needs to be too higher too. So I am going to show you something that can make the process of digging out like simple square rooms like that, like cubic shapes, a lot easier. So basically what you're going to need is a crafting table. Actually, the first thing you're going to need are gears. Okay, you're going to need wooden gears. And with the wooden gears, you're going to need to make stone gears. Okay. And with the stone gears, you're going to need to make iron gears. With the iron gears, you're going to need to make gold gears. The gold is going to go on the bottom here. The crafting table is going to go in the center. And then, let me think. You're going to need, actually you're also going to need some sticks. You're actually going to need 5 of these, so I'll just make them all now. Let's get 4 of them. We'll make the last one later. Okay, so you need a landmark, okay, and a crafting table, dandelion, ink sacs. You get these from squids, and you get the dandelion yellow from flowers. You just put the flower in here and you get dandelion yellow, and you kill squids for the ink sacs. It's fairly simple. Gold gears, and let me see, and a chest, which I of course don't have, so that's me, unprepared. So, dandelion yellow, ink sacs, crafting table, and landmark, okay? And this is called a filler. Now, it does do what the name implies it does. It fills. However, contrary to the implication of the name, it can also clear, which is what we want it for. And I'll be showing you that momentarily. But first, we're going to need something to power this. And in order to power those, you need, let's see if I can get this right, you need a piston and cobblestone. Let's see, uses. Oh, and we need gears again, except this time stone gears. So the stone gears are a lot easier. So let's make that. Okay, so our piston goes here, our glass goes here, and our stone goes here, and we get a steam engine, okay? Now, steam engines are powered with coal or charcoal. You can also use any other fuel, as far as I know. But I like charcoal, so I'm going to cook up 32 charcoal. Meanwhile, we do need at least one more redstone torch, because we need 4 landmarks. The landmarks are used to mark the area that the filler will affect. Okay, so let me show you how this works. Now that we have our coal, or charcoal in this case, our steam engine, our filler, and our landmark, we're set to go. We also do need glass, but I already have that on me. So let's come in here and try to work this out. I need this room to be 2 taller, so I am going to mark off the area that I need, okay? So 1, 2, alright, and we're going to place a landmark right there, okay? And this is going to be the bottom here. The floor is fine, alright? And we need to go back a little bit further than this, I think, would be nice, since we can be picky about it, okay? So let's go back to right there, okay? And then we need to also tell it how far that way to go, alright? And it needs to line up with either this or that. And in this case, the one that I'm going to right click on to activate all of this is this one, so I'm going to make it parallel with it. So we're going to go this way until I'm satisfied that the room will be big enough. And I think this should suffice right here. Okay, so then all you do is you right click on your landmark and it creates this laser, alright? And then you place your filler down right next to one of the landmarks. Any one is fine. And then you can go and collect all the landmarks you set down. Okay, so you see I have 3 of them. Let's go and get the last one. Alright, so I have my 4 landmarks back. You generally don't need any more than 4 landmarks. That's the most you'll need for anything that is a project like this, okay? The next thing you need to do is you need to tell your filler what it's going to be doing with this area. In our case, we want it to fill the area with air, which essentially clears the area, okay? So that is 9 glass. You see, it makes this little shape over here, and the shape represents clear, okay? The symbol that is over here will represent what it ends up doing with the area. You can also do 8 bricks in the shape of a furnace, I believe. It may be 9 bricks, like brick blocks, okay? And that will be fill, and it will fill it up completely solid with whatever you put in your filling resources container. Like, we might want to fill it completely solid with stone bricks. In addition, you can fill it but make it hollow, and I believe that would be the brick blocks with no center. Okay, and there's a couple more recipes, but we're going to go over those later. For now, I'm going to show you how to power this thing. Buildcraft machines such as the filler require an engine. Okay, now you can make a red power engine and all it needs is a redstone signal to go, but it's also the weakest engine in all of Buildcraft. So it would be extraordinarily slow doing it that way. So we are going to use a steam engine, which is about 10 times as powerful as far as I know. There is one more engine that's stronger than this, a combustion engine, but you need oil or lava for that, and it can overheat, and I just find that to be too much of a hassle. So you just put the fuel of your choice into your steam engine, and then you provide the steam engine with a redstone signal, which I will do with a lever because I don't like wasting my redstone. Okay, and then you see the steam engine will start to function. Now, the disadvantage to the filler over the quarry, which a lot of people like, for clearing out areas, is that as the area is cleared out on the filler, while the filler is significantly faster than a quarry, the filler will drop the blocks that it is processing to the ground instead of pushing them through a pipe into something. Okay, so we might actually need to put something in here just so that I'm not sure how that works. And it should be processing. I'm not sure where it starts, but I think, oh, there we go. I just picked something up. So it must be doing something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run for a little while, and it will process from the bottom up. So when we come back in here, this bottom area will probably be gone, and I will be able to just come in here and pick up all the junk that it dropped. And you do have to kind of keep track of these because all of the items that drop from this particular method can cause some lag. And it's with just a steam engine, it is a little slow, but you can see it's moving along there. See, there's some items there. I don't know if you could see in the dark like that. But what I think I might do here is, just for now, since this is, compared to what the filler normally does, such a small area, believe it or not, I will go ahead and show you guys a combustion engine, but first we need to grab some oil. So let me get a bucket and I'll be right back. Okay, so I remember from my Enderman fighting days that there was oil right over here. Okay, and you can just pick this oil up with your bucket, and we only really need one for now, and that should be enough to get a decent amount done because the combustion engine is roughly 10 times more powerful than the steam engine, and therefore 100 times more powerful than a redstone engine. So that should be pretty good. I am going to put together what I need in order to make that combustion engine, and I'll be right back. Okay, a combustion engine is made basically the same way a steam engine is made, but it's made with iron and iron gears. So you need your piston and one piece of glass in the center here, and that's your combustion engine. Okay, so let's take our combustion engine, and we're going to let the steam engine and the combustion engine do this job. I'm going to put the combustion engine down right here, and we're going to move this lever over to here so that it can power both of them. And you'll see there's two little tanks here. One of these is for water, and one of them is for fuel or oil, okay? I don't feel like dealing with a refinery right now, so we're just going to use oil instead of refining it into fuel, which takes quite a while anyway. And then we're not going to use any water for now because we have this lever. I'll just keep an eye on it. But basically what the water is for is this little blue piston here. As it turns colors, as the combustion engine heats up, this will turn colors. It'll become, it'll start at green, I believe, and then it becomes, actually obviously it starts at blue. It then becomes green, and then orange, and then red. And when it's red, it's getting close to exploding, so you have to either turn it off or get some water in there quickly, because obviously you don't want that to happen. So let's turn this on, and I am going to dig out a little bit more here just so that we can see how much faster this is. And as you can see, it's actually doing something visible now. The items are causing a little bit of lag, but that's okay. Let's help this along here, just so that I can get some of these items out of the way to clear up some of that lag. And the water will not be a problem. We can come back and clear that water, and it's not a big deal. I will need to make sure to bring some torches in here, because as you can see there were torches over here, but they're gone now because the filler saw that they were inside of its area and it cleared the torches as well. It'll do that with that as well. As you can see, it's moving along significantly faster than it was with just the steam engine. So that's good. And this is also a great way to get lots of cobblestone. Not the best way, but for the best way you can see some of my tutorials on cobblestone engines, generators that is. But that is the filler, and it is extremely useful. Did we pick up that torch? Yes, we did. Excellent. And I am going to pause it for now until I have the next thing I want to show you. Okay, so I did just notice I was up here with my chests and so forth, and I did notice that our room is going to intrude a bit, but I don't mind. I'm going to leave it alone because this area is going to be gone once the house is finished anyway. So we will simply, we'll put a wall along here and we'll go down this way. Alright, so no problem. I don't mind that at all. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is something that I may have already covered a little bit, but I did want to show you that I expanded my animal farm pretty significantly. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but brown dye is difficult to come by because you can really only find cocoa beans, which effectively act as brown dye, in dungeon chests. So that makes brown wool difficult to come by. So you might be wondering, how do I have so many brown sheep in here? Well, when you are breeding animals, if it's a sheep and you breed two sheep together that are of the same color, their child will be the same color as well, and it'll grow up into a happy brown sheep, big person, animal, sheep thing, or whatever. Probably not person. And then you can use your shears, right click with your shears, and there you go. Get some brown wool. And brown wool is very useful because with red power you can make different insulated wires, and each insulated wire, like each color of insulated wire, will not be able to connect to each other. And in addition to that, you can make bundled wire, and the bundled wire will be able to transmit a redstone signal across every color in one cable. Alright? So if, for instance, red wire and blue wire and yellow wire are transmitting but orange isn't, then you can put all of those into your bundled wire, and at the other end it'll be the same colors transmitting and the same colors not. So the orange wire, which wasn't transmitting, at the other end will not be transmitting, but the other colors that were will still be transmitting. So that is why wool is useful, and there are 16 different colors. Oh, and I put some glass in here so we could see our progress. Looks like we're doing pretty good, but as I said before, you do need to light this area up, otherwise you get monsters spawning. And I decided that I'd go ahead and just let that go, because we can go in there and kick all their butts and it'll be kind of fun. So, I'm going to pause it, and when I get back, hopefully I'll have what I need to show you the next thing. Alright, so I guess the next thing I'm going to be showing you is why, when you're working on a room, you should either make sure that it is lit up very well, or you should probably not leave it open for creepers to wander in and explode your machines. So I lost a few watermills, and I had a double chest here that was full of mostly just junk. I lost that and one macerator. Fortunately, my my MFE, which is 4 diamonds worth of machine, is safe. Personal safes, they are immune to explosions. So I'm going to take this opportunity, if you could call it that, to do what I'd been planning to do anyway, which is to replace that double chest with 2 personal safes. So now I can place all of my junk in 2 of these and separate it by cooked stuff and raw stuff like netherrack and gravel, marble that hasn't been turned into marble brick, and stone bricks and cooked stuff on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this disaster area up, and I'll be back. Okay, so this actually kind of worked out a little bit to my advantage because with the Macerator destroyed, I have a free spot available to place another machine. I have been wanting to show you another machine. You saw I had all that junk spelled out, and I'm kind of getting tired of it accumulating. So I have all this dirt. I have tons of it in a box, and so first we're going to make a compressor, and from the compressor I'm going to show you another machine that is great for dealing with those junk items, and that is the recycler. Okay, so place your recycler down on power just like any other thing, and you feed it your dirt, and it eats up the dirt, and most of the time it eats up anything, and most of the time it'll give you nothing, but occasionally it will give you an item called scrap, and that is this right here. It was beautiful timing. It's completely random, but I'll show you what to do with the scrap as soon as I have enough of it. And scrap is a really cool item because it actually has two uses. One of them is the mass fabricator, which we don't have yet, but we will have fairly soon, hopefully. That's what I was planning on doing with this back room, and you'll notice I dug out the wall some more, and that is because I've decided I am going to put a glass wall in here, like a window. Thought that'd be kind of cool. Meanwhile, let's see how we're doing here. We've got 3 of it, and we're needing to put in some more of this. Now, this machine is the perfect machine for Red Power 2 because it moves through these items very, very quickly, and I believe all of my ladders were destroyed. That's awesome. So, I'm not allowed back upstairs is what's happening here. So, I guess let's make a couple ladders so that we can get back upstairs. That was ridiculous. There we go. Alright, so my ladder being destroyed from that creeper made me lose my train of thought, but now I remember what I was doing. So what's great about the recycler is that it gives you that scrap, but it runs out of material to use very, very quickly. So I happen to have a spare filter here, and what we're going to do is we are going to make a chest, okay, and temporarily we're going to make this chest feed that recycler, okay? So the way we're going to do that is by digging this out, okay, and we will, let's see, I think I'm going to need a screwdriver, which is a new item. Yeah, actually no, I'm not. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to place the filter. How do I want to do this? Place the filter right here, okay? And actually, let's place it right here. And we're going to run a tube, okay? And we'll place our chest here, and this way we can make it a double chest if we want. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this, start with the dirt, take the dirt out of here, we'll put it in here, okay? And then, I believe I have a spare timer too. I'm just going to pause it. Grab that. Okay, so I've had to reconfigure this whole thing so that my chest is out here, and I have tubes coming out of the filter, which is pulling items from the chest, and the tubes go into the top of the recycler, because that is the only face of the recycler that will accept items. So right now the recycler's empty, except for the scrap that it's already made while I've done this. So I'm going to show you how this works. You have your timer set to 1 or whatever you want it set to. In fact, since it's a filter and it sucks out like a significant amount at a time, I am going to set it to 20 seconds. Okay, because that should be more than enough time to process this because since it's a filter, it pulls out full stacks at a time, which means if there is, for instance, cobblestone in here and the next item it wants to pull out is netherrack, then it will not do so because it can't stack the cobblestone with the netherrack. So here's how it works. You just connect your timer to your filter, and then when your timer reaches its tick, it will send a redstone pulse. A full stack will go into your recycler, and it will continue processing. And with this system, all you have to do is keep any junk that you don't care about in this box here, and you are pretty much all set. Okay, so I'm going to put some more dirt in here, some netherrack, get out some more netherrack, and put that in here. And with that, we should get a pretty decent amount of scrap. And scrap, here's how scrap works. You take your scrap and you put 9 of it in your crafting table. You get a scrap box. Okay, and keeping in mind, so far the only thing that's gone into this has been cobblestone and dirt. What you do is you right click on your scrap box and it can give you a random item. Now, it won't give you any item in the entire game, but it will give you any item from a pretty large selection of items. In this case, it gave us rotten meat, or rotten flesh, which in this case isn't really that great, but it does have a chance of giving you diamonds and several other really useful items. So it's definitely worth it to give scrap a shot, but scrap does have one other use that we will be using it for later, which is for accelerating the speed at which a mass fabricator works. We're definitely going to be doing that. And I got a sign. That's kind of cool. I like signs. It's useful. So that is today's episode. If you like this episode, click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.